Festool's new TID18 finally gets reviewed.
And Ego is dating someone new.
This is your Power Tool Week in Review.
This episode is brought to you by Ohio Power Tool. Pro tools, pro service, all at the best prices at ohiopowertool.com. And SkillSaw, true to the trade since 1924.
Welcome back, Power Tool fans. I'm Rob.
And I'm Sarah. It's July 24th, 2020, and today we're going to do the Power Tool news and share some tool videos you won't want to miss. Let's get to it.
On Tuesday this week, Home Depot shocked the tool industry with a press release stating their plans to drop the most popular outdoor power equipment brand in the industry, Ego. Why? It didn't exactly say. In their mysterious press release, they said they would be cutting Ego as part of an outdoor power equipment, quote, reset. The odd part was that dropping Ego seemed to be the only change. The rest of the cordless brands, including Ryobi, Makita, DeWalt, and Milwaukee, along with gas-powered Toros, Echoes, John Deere's, Cub Cadets, Hondas, and Troy-Builts, would all be staying, naturally leaving the rest of us to wonder, how exactly is that a reset? In an interview with Biz Journal's Sarah Gorman, a spokesman for Home Depot, said, quote, "We are focused on the most relevant brands with the greatest adoption." Okay, so let me get this straight. Consumer Reports' highest rated push mower? Ego. Highest rated self-propelled? Ego. String trimmer, backpack blower, snow blower, all Ego. And when you look at the reviews on Home Depot's own website, their last gen mower, 4.7 stars out of 5 with 11,500 reviews. Their new mower has 700 reviews and it's sitting at 4.9. It's about the same across the full line, so how is Ego no longer relevant? Well, 24 hours later, we heard from someone else. Specifically, Home Depot's only real competitor, who currently sells more OPE than HD does. Sarah, would you like to guess who that was?
Lowe's?
Is Lowe's. That's right, they sent us their own press release announcing a deal that made them the exclusive national retailer of what else? Ego power equipment. Not only that, but they're also bringing on the full line of new OPE equipment from Skill, which is owned by Chervon, the parent company of Ego. So, did Home Depot dump Ego like they suggested? If so, Chervon landed an entirely new and complex deal with their biggest competitor in 24 hours. So what do you guys think? Who really dumped who? And if you have an opinion on this, why? Because the truth is, when this blows over, we'll still have two gigantic, awesome stores with a fantastic lineup of OPE equipment. So while the whole thing is kind of fascinating, it doesn't really affect any of us. So let's move on.
See, I love that stuff.
Want the drama?
Yes. I want to know who dumped who first.
Well, you can call Ego and Home Depot on your own time, all right?
Okay, done.
Yeah, no, but you should probably let things cool off first.
Okay, fine. Then let's move on to our friends at Toolbox Buzz who got their hands on the new roofing nailer from DeWalt. Right off the bat, Rob doesn't seem too happy. He notes that the new DeWalt 20-volt cordless roofing nailer is heavier than its pneumatic brother, and it has a flywheel wind-up and wind-down sound. But speed is the most important thing on a roofing nailer, and the DeWalt delivers. But of course, that's not everything.
My overall impression on this nailer. The speed of the gun is fantastic, but the weight is still a factor.
Rob goes on to say that it's good for smaller jobs, but the bigger ones will still require pneumatic. To find out if it will work for you, head over to Toolbox Buzz on YouTube.
A couple of months ago, Festool surprised us with a new cordless impact, the TID18, that came with the Festool Prestige, but a discounted price. This week, John from Tools That Build got his hands on the newest kit and gave the Impact a test drive. Now, while it's cheaper, it's still a Festool, and from the looks of it, it's still awesome. John particularly loved the LED light and the compact body, but he found it to be a bit noisy, and then look at this. That's a Bosch Impact he had on hand. Like all of these Impacts, they blow some air out the side. Now look at the Festool. It's a dang leaf blower. Before you know it, Home Depot will be talking crap about it while Lowe's uses it to replace Ego's blowers.
Hey!
What, too soon? For this full review, head over to Tools That Build on YouTube.
I'm trying to decide who cares less about you, Home Depot or Lowe's?
I'm sure it's a tie at 0.
That sounds about right. So the Milwaukee framing nailer continues its march of dominance, this time arriving on the shores of Middle Earth. Mr. Brown actually got his hands on this wildly popular cordless nailer a few weeks ago, but this was the first time he's been, framing. So is he just as impressed as everyone else?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Damn. It has the power.
Yeah, you could say he likes it. He doesn't tell us anything we don't already know about the nailer, but it's Scott Brown. So it's somehow super fun watching him use things you're already familiar with. It's a Hobbit thing. You can find him at Scott Brown Carpentry on YouTube.
That's funny because he's in New Zealand, which is where they filmed Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
It's time again to tackle some actual work with Robert Robillard. Hey, Rob.
Hey Rob, Sarah, how are you guys this week?
We're doing great, Rob. How are you this week?
I am great, thanks for asking. Listen, today's tip, we've been having a heat wave. It's been super humid, crazy hot. You get out of the truck and you just start sweating. It's miserable to work in, let alone do a good job at your work. So how we deal with that is we're dealing with this kitchen installation. We actually grab this, we have this, it's a portable air conditioner. It just vents right out of like a dryer vent. It's bigger than a dryer vent. And we use this air conditioner to cool the room we're working in and to just kind of create a habitable space that is not brutal. To keep the cold air in the kitchen, we use like a drop cloth that we hang right over the door. That keeps the cool air in here. And then, we try to keep the temperature somewhere around 70 degrees in here. It's set to 68, it'll probably get to 70, 72, but that's a win when it's 98 and 34% humidity. I hope this tip helps, guys. Have a great week. See you next week.
Thank you so much, Rob. It's time again for your construction industry news, courtesy of the Construction Junkie. All right, we've all done it. We've put our time in on the job site and earned our spot at the top of the crane. And then we spend 2 hours a day climbing a ladder. Ugh, am I right? Well, thanks to a UK company weirdly named Select Plant Hire is working on a solution. This is their new tower crane elevator, which as far as we can tell is still in the development process, but they clearly have one working and the crane operators in this video are thrilled. Pretty soon they can stop losing their breath climbing ladders and instead lose their cool when they get stuck in an elevator like the rest of us. From 1988 to 2017, the Palace of Auburn was the home of the Detroit Pistons. On July 11, 2020, it was blown right the heck up, ending an era, as they say. I know you guys want to see the roof blown off this place from at least 6 different camera angles. Fortunately, they had 7. I literally started writing a joke here about Jordan being demolished by the Pistons' infamous bad boys in this very building, only to see that Shane beat me to it in his original article, and he did a better job. So to read it for yourself and for the rest of your construction industry news, be sure to head over to constructionjunkie.com.
Swinging over to Instagram, our buddy the building guru showed off his sanding stick collection, something I didn't even know existed.
Wait, you didn't know that sanding sticks existed, or you didn't know that his collection of sanding sticks existed?
Yes.
Okay.
Nate was helping his neighbors upgrade to a Bosch HVAC system and brought along his favorite Weha tools in his Vito bag. And Paul the tool pig himself has decided that the absolute best way to measure trim is with a Bosch LEM, and we can't disagree.
That's right, we can't, because neither one of us hangs trim.
Exactly.
We want to thank Ohio Power Tool and Skillsaw for sponsoring this episode. We couldn't do it without you. Don't forget to catch us tomorrow on another episode of Make or Break, and Sarah later in the week with Sarah's Top 5 DIY.
So be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.
We'll see you next week.